Jikishi is a content creator that was given an opportunity that millions of people only dream of, being added to the Dream SMP and given a platform that almost guaranteed them success overnight, being surrounded by some of the biggest influencers and being put in the eyes of millions. The one thing that nobody expected was their name to go trending a second time the following day for predator allegations and their subsequent removal from the Dream SMP after these allegations were looked into and all the evidence was forwarded to Dream. So in today's video, I'd like to look into the 30 different accounts of women that have come out against Jikishi. I'm only going to focus on one situation in particular because I spoke to the victim and they provided me all the evidence I could possibly need. But with that being said, I would like to make a quick trigger warning in this video. Obviously, I'm also going to run a disclaimer at the same time that you can read for yourself, but this video is going to touch on some very serious topics. So if you feel like any of these topics may make you uncomfortable, I would suggest just clicking off because this video is going to be quite upsetting, obviously. But with that being said, if you are new to the channel, I would appreciate if you could subscribe. I know it's kind of a sad thing to say, but I have a lot of videos that focus on these situations and I get a lot of people that say that I do a good job of presenting them and making them easily understandable. So if you'd like to subscribe, it would be highly appreciated. You can also check out my Twitter because I talk about these situations over there earlier and before I have all of the evidence put together, so you get to see my perspective as information comes out. With that being said, the only other place I could really promote to you is my Discord. It's a fun place if you'd like to engage in my community, get to know other people that are interested in the same topics, and also it announces videos to you. With that being said though, let's delve into the topic at hand. The initial tweet longer by Erin details their experience with Jikishi. It starts with them saying, "This isn't going to be easy for me to write. I don't know how to say this and I've never wanted to open up about this because at one point I was very close to this person and to an extent I still have care for him. However, due to the recent events of him joining a considerably large content creator group and gaining exponentially more exposure, I feel like it is my responsibility to bring this to light in order to prevent this person from taking advantage of more young girls." With that being said, I'll start from the beginning. When I was 13, around 2016 or 2017, I met Demetrius, aka Jikishi, through MCYT and mutual friends. Through Skype, we became quick friends. He made me feel like I had a safe space with him, and I trusted him like family. We messaged and called often, talked like best friends for many months, and stayed close over a few years. Over time, the dynamic shifted from nothing more than platonic friends to him being sexual towards me, and wanting sexual things from me. The earliest conversation history I have is from when I was 14 in 2018 and he was 18/19, May birthday, and you can see that things were already sexual on his end when we had our first mention of a meetup. In the screenshots they attach, you can already see Jikishi being incredibly sexual towards a 14-year-old. You could try to pass this off as a joke, but I still feel like saying, "You haven't sent me nudes yet, you can't die," is not an acceptable thing to say to a 14-year-old at 18 or 19. This might be a surprising and insightful perspective for some of the predators in the audience, but I think it is unacceptable to send messages with this kind of tone and language towards a 14-year-old, someone 4 years your junior. I feel like that type of joke, even if it was a joke, it's not a joke, I'll get into the more context later, but at this situation, even if this was a joke, this would be unacceptable. These type of jokes are not okay to be making towards a child. I'd also like to mention these messages here where he says that he's still baffled that they talked to him after he sent them pictures hella long ago. He says it was pretty bad what he did and they said they liked it, to which he called them kinky and said he was going to send another one on Snap. There are also conversations between Jikishi and this minor in which he asks them if they'll do a shirtless cam call. Again, whether you think this is a joke or not, I feel like these type of jokes are incredibly uncomfortable, incredibly inappropriate, and are not jokes that you should be making to a 14-year-old, someone 4 years your junior. I wish this is where the situation ended, but it's only gonna go downhill from here. They say that he would frequently ask them for nudes, joke about them sending nudes to each other, and talk to them about their body and sex. When they were 14 and 15, Demetrius and them exchanged explicit images. He received pictures of the upper half of their chest area, and he sent them his... funny pop culture reference. Lightsaber. He was 19 and 20 in this time frame, and he was paying a 14 and 15-year-old for nudes. Before I go into the screenshots of these chats, I'd like to quickly show a conversation I had with the victim on Twitter. I reached out to them in private and asked if they could confirm these things for me before I went further with the video. I asked for a video recording of some section in the chat with them refreshing, showing that he was aware of their age, so that that could not be something that was disputed. I also asked if they could screen record a section of the chat mentioning nudes and refresh, and they sent me me both of those videos so that I can confirm that those events did happen with as much certainty as I could really get here. I feel like I'm confident enough to say that he was aware of their age, and as such I'd like to continue to more of the screenshots they shared. There's a conversation where Jikishi starts talking about how they don't remember much from the day that they sent him nudes. He also mentions that he wanted to cuddle them if he met them IRL. Motherfucker treating women like body pillows, I guess. They have a conversation where Jikishi asks if they want to answer questions 100% honestly. They say sure, and he asks what they remember from the night, and they say showing you my ass in grey leggings. He says, damn, that was a 2-hour call and that's all you remember. I feel like this chat is pretty clear in what happened, you know? Jikishi was targeting a minor and involving himself in sexual ways with them. Obviously, this isn't the only accusation, but it's a very clear accusation with a lot of evidence to back it, and it's a very concerning one. I'd like Jikishi to address this whole thing, and I really don't think he should ever have access to a community like the Dream SMPs, where he could possibly involve himself with more minors in the same way. This behavior is more than criminal, more than morally wrong, and more than unacceptable. There is no excuse, no justification, and no possible reason that you could say that any of these conversations should have taken place, that they are acceptable, or that Jikishi is not 100% completely and wholly, by law and by my personal moral perspective, in the wrong. And to those 10 people who dislike all of my videos, stop defending this behavior, please. It's fucking ridiculous. Again, the chat continues with Jikishi saying that he wouldn't say no to another and stuff like that sort with a 14-year-old child at 19 and 20. He also told this 14 to 15-year-old that they have a cute butt. Fucking classy, you creep. It makes my skin crawl. People like this actually make me uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable knowing that these people had a community around kids, knowing that these people were associated with people I associate with in any way. It's disgusting. And then he's here asking questions like, how do you feel knowing you sent me nudes with laughing faces? It's actually creepy. It's creepy, concerning, and absolutely disgusting. He then sends the most Discord user message I've read so far. Here's a random awkward question. If I was to ask you to cuddle with me, would you do it? Like, just like cuddling to cuddle. Nothing like crazy. This dude was wearing cat ears in his streams. This dude, look at him. Look at him. Come on. Even the minors, like, that's weird, bro. Very weird. And in his streams, he's literally cosplaying predatory animals. Like, I'm not saying that people that wear cat ears in their stream and shit like that are always weird, but like, it's very obvious what this dude was doing when he was wearing stuff like that. And there's fully serious conversations between him and the minor talking about his American hot dog that he sent to them. The more concerning thing is that in this conversation it's implied that the minor does not even remember what happened, and later in the conversation they mentioned taking alcohol. I'm concerned that they weren't even sober during this encounter, and the fact he says because you don't even remember doing it, which probably makes it even worse because you wouldn't consciously do it, to like sending nudes. It's a really concerning situation. In the conversation, the minor even calls out literally how old he is, about the fact that he's about to be 20 at the time of these exchanges, and on this same day, he's talking about trying to meet them to put his noodle in the soup. It's gross. Reading these messages where he's so pushy and constantly asking if he's going to get the chance to smash them, and when they say no, he's saying, oh, sad face, why not? It's not okay! If you are really interested in this situation, I would suggest reading this thread and many other threads from different women that have come out in full. I believe there's over 30. But for the sake of brevity, I've cut those parts out of this video, and I'm now going to focus on the responses to this situation. As aforementioned, this tweet garnered 50,000 likes and led to Jikishi going trending, with many other women coming out. At that point, I forwarded this information to Dream, and I know he read it, and then he released 2 subsequent posts on his private account. The first one just reading man, and the second one saying, I have removed Demetrius from the SMP for gross accusations that he also confirmed privately were accurate. No questions, no toleration, disgusted and incredibly disappointed. Will never let things like this stop me from trying to uplift members of the community and smaller content creators. It's part of what makes our community great. So stick together, be there for people who need it, and always be safe online. Love you. In this tweet, Dream alleges that Demetrius Jikishi admitted to everything he did, and at the same time he was removed from the SMP. Overnight hitting the highest and lowest point in his entire life. His career being flipped upside down and taken away from him the second he acquired it with good reason. Demetrius is an alleged predator with many women coming out, and at this point it's very hard to argue against the claims made against him, seeing as it seems, according to Dream, that he's even admitted to it already. If these claims are true, Demetrius does not deserve a platform, does not deserve to even be outside of jail, and definitely needs some serious help. There's no excuses for this type of behaviour, no reasonable justification to pass this behaviour off as nothing. Demetrius has let down everyone. Jikishi is a disgrace to the Dream SMP, and completely of his own fault, no one else in the SMPs, he is doomed to fucking fail. Jikishi, if you're watching this video, you dug your fucking grave, now lay in it. With that being said, thank you for watching this video. If this video has provided more information on the situation that you weren't previously aware of, or if this video presented it in a way that made it easier to understand, please do feel free to subscribe. I would appreciate your support as I make these videos every single day at 6 PM GMT, 1 PM EST, and I feel like I do a decent job of explaining these situations to someone that wasn't already aware of them. Finally, if you'd like to support my Twitter, that would be highly appreciated. I release tweets where I give my opinion on things before I get to make them in the video, or if they don't even get turned into a video. I don't really have much more to say in this video. I really do just appreciate all the recent support. Thank you for 60,000 subscribers. I know I said we were aiming for 100k in the next 2 years, but I didn't expect to do 10k in a month. So thank you. I really do appreciate it. And with that being said, I will see you next time. Peace.
Says she wanna rock with a nigga like me. I'm a stylish guy. Spend a little guap with a nigga like me. We can catch a fly. Says she wanna rock with a nigga like me.